Good morning, everybody. I get questions on our channel every now and then about what it's like to get ready for fall on the farm. And you know, that's all about picking and stuff, but I've been getting a few questions about what it's like to winterize on the farm. And all I can say in that regard is it's a lot of little things. It's not always about picking and stuff. I'm going to show you kind of where we're at with things right now. I'll take you down and show you where we're at this point in fall. It's the 7th of October here, and we are making progress in the farm, but you know, we're maybe a little behind because she's starting to get cold out. So a couple things that are going on right off the top is we've had a hive, for whatever reason, had maybe too many mites or something, and it swarmed out. So we plucked it, took the frames and moved them into another hive, and of course some of the top frames we're going to deal with the honey on, and we're dealing with some of the wax on that too, so we're getting some of that done. So I'll try to show you that here in a second. So some of the wax is actually right here. We're just starting to cook it down and make these patties out of it. It's got a little bit more work. You can still see there's some black flecks in it, but we'll have this cooked down with more of it here soon, and we'll get that taken care of. I'll take you downstairs here. I'll show you the progress we've made down here, bringing in some of the food crops. Now, on a gentleman's farm or a self-sustainable farm in the winter, there's nothing I can do but try to get enough food for the family. That's kind of the goal of number one. So here we are, we're in the fruit cellar here. The bottom row has our onions in it. They're looking really good. They're nice and dry. So you can see the stems have dried out really nicely, which is fantastic. Second row is more onions. The Studebachers, I think, do the best. These whites won't last as long, but hey, that's life. Then we've got our potatoes up top. We've got to have enough potatoes to get through the year. Yes, they're a little piled right now. That's not the best way for them to breathe. But when potatoes come in, we just have limited shelving down here. Squash are up top, and we've already started cooking them. Every now and then you get a damaged squash out of the field. That's fine. But we've got a lot of squash up there. Acorns, butternuts, buttercups. So that's a fantastic crop. There is no room yet in the fruit cellar for the cooking pumpkins, so we're working on it. We're doing the best we can there. We've gotten through the applesauce. That is all made now for the season. This is cinnamon applesauce, which is why it's darker. We got our goldenrod picked for our tea for cold season. We got our black beans in. We've got some cider in the back. Our pickles are in. Our freeze-dried corn is in. We've got our beets in. That is freeze-dried cantaloupe, and we got some freeze-dried milk. All our pickles are done, and our canned apples are in. And then, you know, you've got tomato paste, some more applesauce. Now, this applesauce looks red because it's crab apple, so that's why it's more red. We've got all our preserves up here from all our berries for the season, which has been fantastic. Our June berries, our raspberries. We've got some store apricot ones that we got. And then we've got more tomato up on top. As you can see, we didn't use all our jars this year. That's fine. That's the way it goes. And then this is kind of the other side of the coin. This is last year's beets. We didn't plant beets this year because we had plenty. We've got our salsa up top. You've got some of our cherries. We got some freeze-dried apples tucked away in here. We got more pickles because they didn't all fit. We've also got our pickled carrots and our pickled beans in there, which is fantastic. And we've got our syrups for the year, our cherry syrups and stuff. They get a little dusty in here because obviously we're still milling our flour and stuff that we need from our wheat berries, but that's life. So folks, this is what's come in so far. We still got a little bit more work to do on bringing stuff in. The frost is upon us. This morning was 29 degrees out here. No way around it, but you know, you gotta try to get things in safe as you can. And we didn't make it down into the fruit cellar yet because we've got, you know, just too little space. But up here is the eating pumpkins. These are Nice pumpkin for eating. You can really tell the difference between these. See if I can show you. And more of a carving pumpkin. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. They got more of a film to them. And that film really helps you pick them out in the field. The carving pumpkins are very smooth. The eating pumpkins are very rough. See if I can show you in a bigger one here. Maybe equal sized. See how those look? You can really tell the difference. This is a cooking pumpkin. This is a carving pumpkin. Yes, you can eat a carving pumpkin, but these keep much better and do better for making things. So at this point, that's kind of where we're at with things for the cellar. Getting ready here for winter. So got to get these pumpkins taken care of. These are pretty much for fun and getting stuff done. We'll get them loaded up in the gator here soon, and we'll get on to things. But other things that are getting done here this fall, and I'll see if I can show you that. So like I said, there's some other things that are getting done here. We'll head over to the barn. Now this time of year, it's the school year, so we don't get a lot of help from the farm hands. They got to be off getting their education too. It's a beautiful day, as you can see out here, but we're still getting stuff done here. We got one of the gators out, and we're loading stuff up. But one of the other things that we got to get done is we got to do some winterization, and that's part of things around here too. And winterization sometimes involves a lot of little things, a little equipment stuff. And even though we have electric on the farm, folks, and battery-powered objects, that doesn't mean that there's not fuel and stuff. So I'll see if I can show you that stuff too. So basically down here in this corner is kind of our fuel area of the barn. It's right next to one of our potties. And we've got equipment like the 46C, which is going to get used on the raspberries today. Then we got to get the gas refreshed in it and get the stable in it. We've got the Honda 2000, got to get that done today. These are batteried objects back here, and the chainsaw is already winterized. So just in this corner alone, we've got the generator that we got to take care of today, and we've got the hedge trimmer part. Over here, we've been doing some work already this morning, just kind of getting things winterized. Oil changed here on the generator. It's a 2,500 gallon per minute kind of deal, or gallon per hour, I guess. It's 2.3 gallons per minute. I guess it's 2,500 gallons per hour. But we got to get this Honda done. It's a 160 engine on it, so we get that done. We just got the tiller cleaned up here, which is great. Got the 14-inch tiller here ready for the farm. We've got to pull out the cement mixer. We need this for the walnuts. In the fall, the walnuts come in. See if I can show you that over here. And right now, the walnuts are all in bags. They've come in from the trees, which is fantastic. So inside these bags are all walnuts, all kind of nice and squishy yet. They're not frozen. They're not eaten by squirrels and things. So we got to take these walnuts. We got to get them all husked and removed, and we're going to use the cement mixer for that. So basically, this device has got to get out, cleaned up, and ready to go. This one here is getting put away, which is great. We've got the kerosene heater. We got to get that filled up for winter. We need it for in the shop here at times to get things warm. Got to get that done. We'll do little things today, like make sure that the auger fires up and is good there, even though I'm probably going to be doing some more work with the electric augers. A couple other things that we got to get done. We got to get this cart cleaned up. We're done with lawn, so we got to get that taken care of. And then back in the corner, we're going to have to pull out some of the hive stuff. Like I said, I got that hive that went down. I got to pull that out. Now, I got my plucker back here. This is another plucker that I'm selling to a good friend of mine who's got a homestead, and he needs it. So this plucker is selling, keeping this plucker. Back here, I've got some honey extracting tools. I got to pull them out. That's my big nutcracker there. We're not going to worry about that. This is the apple cider press, which we just finished up with, but we'll pull that out so we can get this other stuff out. Probably see if we can get this plucker delivered today and get that going. Get the hive extractor out there in the back and see if we can get some frames of honey taken care of. You know, when you get into fall and, you know, a hive swarms like it did, there just isn't there just isn't much I can do but try to salvage what I can. So I took all my bottom frames and stuff that were good. I got those moved into another hive and trying to make that correction. But as you can see here, I'm going to flip this around. We've got some frames that we got to deal with, and some of them are just little bits. There's not much on them, but other frames back there are actually quite full. Some are capped, some aren't. I have to check the ones that aren't capped and see if that honey is dry enough, because if it's got too much moisture, that's going to give us trouble. So all that stuff is getting ready for the farm, folks. We've still got freeze dryer products going. These are potato flakes that we just took out of the freeze dryer. We're still dehydrating stuff and getting ready for fall. I've been blessed with the possibility of an elk trip this year, so I'm trying to get my stuff ready for that. My daughters are getting ready. I've got one on the bow this year. I've got another that's using the crossbow. So they're all getting ready. So the shop is really feeling pretty cluttered right now, but that's kind of the way it goes. But on the fall, you know, everybody likes to think, oh, on the farm, all you're doing is picking crops. And I got to tell you, that's not all we're doing. We're getting things ready for winter. Hose is taken care of today. Hoses all got to be drained out of water. So we got to get them done today so they don't freeze. So we'll get all these hoses drained out of water, and there's probably about 4 or 5 more. We'll also get all the sprinklers taken care of so that these things are all winterized so they don't freeze. That would be a good thing for today. Let's get these hoses put away. Alright, let's get these hoses undone. Put away in the barn for the moment. This opened up. I've already brought up the hoses from the pigs, and I've got those already drained because the pigs went to butcher last week. And as always, I typically don't show any video of that because it doesn't go over well with the YouTube. But it went very well. Our pigs weighed in between 268 pounds and about 238 pounds. And all 3 families got a wonderful set of pigs. Come on, Matthias, let's get these hoses in. So right now I'm just going to stack up the hoses next to the 4066R. As you can see over here, another fall project. We haven't finished obviously yet because it's drying, but the popcorn came in. The farm grows its popcorn all the time. I'm sure we'll have a video on how we did this. But for right now, that's drying on the ground. As you can see, it looks great. It looks all nice. I've got 3 sheets of it here. I've also got some bales of hay in here that are for the horses. And we've got some hay that's over here for the horses. Right now, I'm going to get these things unloaded and we'll get on to the next project for the fall here today. Let's get in that gator. Next stop. Get up in there, little one. Without the kids' help, I don't know how we'd always get it done. All right, let's go.
Go.
Actually, we're going to have a change of plans. Another thing that's got to get done for winter is we got to strip all the vines out of this thing. So I think we'll get that done right now. Hop up there. Yeah, let's get these vines taken care of. Let's get them out of here. Rip out the holes first, so that I can just take them. This plant right here. Hold the hole. See that plant right there in front of your boot? Right in front of your boot. Alright, go pull weeds. That boot on. Okay, that boot on. There you go. Let's go and pull weeds. Don't fall off. Stay in the middle. Don't worry about it. So what was on here were vine peaches and watermelon. There's maybe a few left that we didn't get to, but now the critters can have them. Yeah, that's a vine peach, huh? You found a vine peach too? Yeah, that's an old vine peach. We'll let the critters have it. Time to get done for fall. Yeah, let her have it. Yeah. Yeah, another vine peach, huh? Gosh, still more vine peaches, huh? No. Gosh, you got that many of them. Maybe I'll hang on to them and give them to the chickens. You got that many, huh? Maybe we'll hang on to them for the chickens. We got that many of them we missed. We'll probably give them to the chickens. Change of plans. Put them in the back of the gator. Take them back to the chickens. Yeah. Watermelon here. I didn't think we missed that many, but I guess we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, alrighty. Under here. Keep working it over. I'm gonna stop there. Right here. Alright, we'll get you off there in a second. Come here, Matthias. Get you in the gator. Yeah, it's cold out here, isn't it? Yeah, it's cold. You get in the gator. So if you take the broom back, Tabitha, that'd be great. So we got this area cleaned out. As you can see, this is an old silo. We turned it into a big planter. 1 year is cucumbers, 1 year is onions. Then we do the watermelon and fruits up here. This time it was vine peaches and watermelons. Turned out absolutely fantastic. We've done all the work we're going to do with these, so we're not going to waste them if there's that many. We'll take these back and cut these up and give them to the chickens. They absolutely love stuff like this. So a little in-between project, but another good fall project to get done on the farm. So we'll move on to the next and see if we can get some raspberries and juneberries trimmed up and get back onto some of that equipment winterizing. Alright, so we're down here at the garden. Tabitha, you want to run over and kill the fence? The garden is pretty much done. We've got a few things left in it. We just got to kind of get it cleaned up. I'll show you here what's left in it here. So what we got in it is we still got some zinnias and marigolds in it. They're all froze out now, so now we can pull the seeds for next year. These are a solid hedge of Juneberries, which follow into raspberries. And then down here, we've still got parsnips and carrots in the garden yet that we still got to take care of. So a little bit of work, but it'll all get done. And there's a bunch of hoses in here. As you can see, there's a hose laying in that black. We need to get that out of here. And get all the hoses and sprinkler heads drained. So that's our next goal for today. So once we got done trimming them out, then we just gotta grab onto these things and get them into the weeds. Get them out of here. Now I gotta go trim the other side here in a second. Tougher Cuddles behind you. Go ahead, Matthias, grab one and throw in the weeds. Where's your other mitten? Get your mitten on. There's not cut ones, I'll have to come back and get them. Can't see when there's that thick. Alright, so we got that done. That certainly leaves some mowing and some rutabagas and a few other plants left in here to get. But again, nice little winter chore done. And that will allow us to take this guy back in. And, you know, we'll be able to get this guy all cleaned up and, you know, looking good. And, you know, we'll get them all winterized here. So I think that's the game plan, at least at the moment, is get back in here after doing all this and probably focus on hoses and honey some more and get some more of these fall chores out of our way. So when I winterize tools, I like to make sure they're full of fuel. And I kind of like to use either Sta-Bil or sea foam. So for this one, I'm just going to use a little bit of sea foam. And I'm not really measuring it because it's such a small little tank. I'm just going to pour some in, make sure it's good. And I'm just going to top off with a little bit of fuel and then clean it up. And then this thing should be good for winter. And at least I'll have this guy done. Like I said, we've almost got that tiller over there completely done. I just need to run it for a bit and check the oil. And I still haven't got, I've got the oil change done now on that pressure washer, but the tires are still pretty flat, so I got to fix that yet. So we're still working on things, and of course I got everything to do yet there on the Honda generator. Alright, let's see if got the oil, got the air done on this. I got it turned to on. Got the cap open, we'll get it choked. Let's see if we can get this little jitney running. See if we can get her going here a little bit. Like I said, she may take a bit. I just got fresh gas in her and oil. See if she goes. There she goes. There she's running. I always like to run them a little bit after the oil's in them, then recheck the oil and make sure it's doing good. Let's get it wheeled back into place carefully, and that will be done for the winter. Another tool out of the way. There you go, wheel it in there, right next to those bricks. Alright, now put the def back next to it, and the marine antifreeze we'll need for different things on the farm, like the sprayers and stuff. Make sure they don't freeze up. Perfect. Put the def fluid back against it there, Tabitha. Yep. Alright, perfect. Okay, let's grab that. Let's get the air compressor on it. Let's get those tires blown up. Wheel it over. Come on, Matthias. Let's work on the pressure washer, huh? Tires are flat on her. Tabitha's got to get her over by the wheel. So once we get air in this, this thing will have to power wash the house off yet. The house actually probably looks pretty good, but I can see up in that end over here, there's a bunch of crap from bugs and stuff, and I like to spray off all the edges. Make sure the siding's looking good. It's a good way for me to inspect the siding for the year. It's definitely going to use some air in those tires. Can you get the cap off? Alright. You get on it, pull yourself some more hose. Until the next time it clicks. There you go. Keep going if it's not going to hold until it starts to click. There you go. See if you can get on it and get some air on it. Good, stop. There you go. Yep, that's probably fine. Get the cap started on straight. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, how are you, little bug? Huh? Yeah, we're fixing things. Getting them ready for winter, aren't we? Huh? Yeah, we getting them ready for winter? Yeah. Yeah, you got a runny nose. We gotta get that fixed, huh? Let's get these things done, huh?
Yeah, you check the tires, Cuddles.
Get it in? Yep. And let's get that air compressor down. These guys are nice and tight now. Could have used a little more on that one, but I think we're okay. That's all right. Let's wheel it out of here. Let's put it away. We still got to use it one more time yet this winter. Let's get that thing put away for the winter. Then we'll get on to other stuff like honey and everything else.
Yep.
So at this point, we've just got some frames that are kind of left over from the lost hive. We're just going to cap them off, put them in the decapper, and see if we can salvage the wax and maybe a little bit of honey. Here, take that. Alright, we tried spitting out as much honey as we already could, and at this point now we'll just try to save some wax. Some of the hive we saved and put into other hives, some of the frames, but these particular ones we're just going to clean up and move forward on. So we're going to decap some honey here today. So you can see we've got it all filled up in there. And we're going to turn this on and we're going to salvage some honey. There's some wax going down there that Tabitha's getting out. We're going to save that too. And try and clean this mess all up and see if we can be a little bit productive here this fall yet. So the honey's already starting to come out of the decapper. We're not going to get a lot, folks. It's only, I think, 6 frames, and they're only partially filled, but, you know, you can only work with capped honey, so we're just going to do what we can and dry the cappings. They'll just keep spinning away in here, and once they've spun for a while, we'll be able to use it to make candles and salvage what we can out of that deceased hive. It's one of those bummers on the farm. It does happen, but, you know, it's something's got to be done this fall before it gets into winter. So we'll keep collecting the honey here, and we'll move on to other projects in the meantime. So it's been going here for about an hour. Still getting honey out of it, so I'm going to let it keep going. As you can see, the shaking has really settled down on it. It's much more balanced as it's spun itself into balance. And getting some honey in there right now. So since the honey's still coming, I'm just going to let it come. So back out in the barn, we're just cleaning up some of the honey extractor that we use. Got some of the frames there that we've cleaned up a bit. While she takes care of that, since we've got all the equipment now in winter form, and all we've got to do is kind of clean up, I figured I'd take you back down to the garden and show you what the rest of the family's doing down there yet. So as always, one of the headaches when you're working on a farm is kind of trying to get it done before the weather. And today the weather's getting kind of worse as far as cold. It's getting windier. We're now bucking about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and it's getting colder. So fall is definitely upon us, and hopefully not winter yet, but it doesn't take much, and bang, zoom, it'll be here. So anyways, I'm going to walk back down to the garden and see where these guys are at with things. They got a lot of different things going on down here. So here's my little Grant there. He's working on hose ends. You can see we've got a bunch of sprinklers there ready to go. And we're starting to pull all the sprinkler hoses up the hill. And that's the goal here. So we got everybody working hard. They're all pulling sprinkler hoses up this hill. And then that drains them out. And then once they're drained out, then I can get them up to that barn and get them coiled and put away for the winter. So we run them up to the top, and then we start coiling them, and that seems to hopefully get them empty. So at this point, we got 3 or 4 pieces of equipment all winterized. We're soon going to tackle this white electric fence here that you see. We're going to take that down on the reels. I've got a video out years ago on how we reel that all up. It's fantastic. Check it out. on the best electric fence that we use. But we'll get that Intelli rope all taken down, and it'll all be ready for mowing and future use there as far as getting ready for fall prep. We will put a manure base on this and get it tilled in yet this year and get it ready, but that'll be another weekend. So again, this weekend's all about getting these hoses done, getting this fence down, getting that equipment winterized, taking some honey out of that deceased hive, and moving those other frames like we did into another hive, trimmed up those raspberries, trimmed up those Juneberries, and hopefully we'll still get time yet to get a mower in here, and if we can get this really cleaned up and ready for winter coming up. I'll just keep coiling these up, and they'll start taking down that fence. As you can see, my daughter Anna there is just taking her time and reeling up that big reel of wire as she goes there. She's taking them off the easy claws and then just making sure it stays in the center, and she's just reeling it up, and then she does that 4 times and we're done. While she does that, I'm back to reeling up all these hoses, getting them all ready for winter. Alright, she's got the first load of hoses out of here. I got 4, 8, 10 hoses left to go, and these guys are unhooking strands and taking down the fence pretty fast. So within about an hour here, we'll have the fence down, which will be great. We're going to move some of these tomato cages out of our way. We'll get these sprinklers out of here and get the big mower in here, and we'll get this garden really looking nice. These reels really work nice for taking down fencing. Keeps the Intelli rope nice, takes it down wonderfully. I'd highly recommend them. This Intelli rope, I think, is about 10 years old that's on this fence, and it's holding up absolutely fantastic thanks to these reels and how we do it. Yeah, we gotta get this octopus out of here. Get the octopus stuff out of here. We'll get this all undone and get it up to Mom too, okay? So right now I'm heading back up to the barn because I'm going to take one of the Z-Tracks out. The blades are getting pretty worn this time of year, which is fine. John Deere will be out to service them soon, and when they do, if they're too worn, they'll put new blades on. Otherwise, they'll just sharpen them. But I'm going to get my butt into the barn here and see if I can get one of those Z-Tracks fired up. It's cold, but if we can get one of those diesels going, I can take it down there while the blades are still worn from the summer. Get that garden chopped up pretty fast. This is a lot simpler way of doing it than dealing with putting on a rear deck mower and getting that in there and trying to move it around. Yeah, this one's got plenty of fuel. It's cold out here today. Let's see if she wants to fire up. Oh. Here's the glow plug. Come on, baby. Get warm enough. You tell it's cold, the glow plugs stay on longer. Trying to get that box hot in there to fire them up. There we go. Yeah, she comes to life. all cleaned out. Now, next week, we'll work on this half. I'll clean out by the grapes, and we'll get those carrots out, which are right there. And we'll get the parsnips out. We'll clean up all these black mats, get them out because they've been in for a few years, and call her a day. Oh, folks, it's been a day here on the farm getting ready for the fall. Like I said, I still got 3 vegetables to get in and get into the cellar. I got some more deer hunting clothes to get ready and stuff. I got to get ready for that elk trip I got coming up. I got to get John Deere out here, get a lot of oil changes done on the property. I got some old-time tractors that need to get winterized to put away. I got some hay to get in places. So there's plenty to do in the next couple weeks before winter comes. But this is just one of the days on the farm. Again, we don't have any farmhand support right now because they're all back to college, so we're doing it with just the family. But we're getting it all prepped for winter. Winter, it slows down around here, which is kind of nice. But right now, we're in full swing. The crops are coming in. Things are working out well. I'm glad you came along with us today to see all this. I know it was kind of more of a hodgepodge type video, but I think you'll really enjoy seeing how we function in the fall and what things need to get done on a farm in the fall. You folks have a wonderful day, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick with us as we journey through our farmstead and homestead.